While global attention remained fixed on conflict in the Middle East, another development, quieter but potentially just as significant, unfolded in East Asia. On April 13, 2026, Chinese President Xi Jinping met with senior leadership from Taiwan's Kuomintang Party. It was the first high-level engagement of its kind in over a decade. No missiles were launched, no warnings were issued, no headlines dominated global media cycles. And yet, for analysts watching closely, this meeting signaled something profound, a strategic shift. For years, tensions in the Taiwan Strait have been defined by military maneuvers, airspace incursions, and rising geopolitical risk. But now Beijing appears to be advancing a different approach, a calculated blend of diplomacy, economic integration, and political signaling. At the center of this effort, a newly announced 10-point plan aimed at strengthening ties across the Taiwan Strait. 2025 was defined by unprecedented military activity in the Taiwan Strait. Chinese forces conducted near-daily air and naval maneuvers. Fighter jets crossed median lines. Naval fleets expanded operational zones. Missile tests signaled readiness. These actions were not random. They were strategic, designed to assert presence, test response times, and reinforce Beijing's position on Taiwan. The Kuomintang, or KMT, represents a political force in Taiwan that traditionally supports closer engagement with mainland China. Unlike other political factions advocating for stronger separation, the KMT has historically emphasized dialogue, trade, and cooperation. By inviting KMT leadership to Beijing, China signaled a clear intention: engage with actors willing to cooperate. Timing in geopolitics is rarely accidental. The meeting came at a moment when global attention was focused elsewhere. This created a strategic window. On April 13, Beijing announced a 10-point framework designed to deepen cross-strait engagement. Key measures included expansion of trade agreements, infrastructure connectivity initiatives, increased cultural exchange programs, support for Taiwanese businesses operating in mainland China, streamlined customs and logistics processes. Each measure may appear technical, but collectively, they represent a broader strategy: integration. Economic integration has long been one of Beijing's preferred tools. Rather than relying solely on coercion, it creates incentives. Trade creates dependency. Dependency creates influence. Infrastructure is not just physical, it is strategic. Connecting economies can shape political outcomes. What makes this moment unique is the contrast. Military pressure continues, but alongside it, diplomacy expands. Some analysts describe this approach as soft power integration. Others are more direct, a long-term strategy for peaceful annexation. Beyond economics and diplomacy, another battlefield is shaping the future of cross-strait relations: information. In recent years, both sides have intensified efforts to influence public perception through media, digital platforms, and cultural messaging. State-backed narratives emphasize stability, shared identity, and economic opportunity. At the same time, counter-narratives highlight concerns over autonomy, political freedoms, and long-term sovereignty. This information environment is not limited to official channels. It extends into social media, entertainment, education, and even business networks. For younger generations in particular, exposure to competing narratives is constant and often subtle. Analysts note that influence is no longer exerted only through military or economic power. It is shaped through ideas, identity, and perception. In this context, the 10-point charm offensive operates on multiple levels. It is not only about trade agreements or infrastructure, it is also about shaping how people think about the future of cross-strait relations. And in modern geopolitics, perception can be just as powerful as policy. Taiwan is not a unified political landscape. Public opinion is divided. The international community is watching closely. Beyond governments and political actors, global businesses are closely monitoring developments across the Taiwan Strait. For multinational corporations, stability in the region is not just a political issue, it is an operational necessity. Taiwan plays a critical role in global supply chains, particularly in advanced manufacturing and technology production. Any shift in cross-strait relations directly affects investment decisions, risk assessments, and long-term planning. Following the announcement of Beijing's 10-point measures, some investors see opportunity in increased economic cooperation. Others remain cautious, concerned that deeper integration could increase exposure to geopolitical risk. For now, markets are responding with measured optimism, but beneath that optimism lies a persistent question. Is this stability sustainable or temporary? For deeper geopolitical analysis, visit nexusinsight.org. Subscribe.